Let's talk about something, alright? So let's do this. Ubisoft has mentioned a lot of games for a couple of months right now, from their Ubisoft Forward and trailer that they already released. So for today, I want to talk about 6 upcoming Ubisoft games that we are waiting for. At number 6, we have Immortals: Phoenix Rising. This game is an open world game that takes place in the Greek mythology, where you play as a Greek warrior that's stranded in a place called Olympus that has to save it from an enemy called Titan. This game is directed by a guy named Scott Phillips and his team with a couple unique stuff in their game. In this game, you can, like all of Ubisoft games nowadays, you can create your own character, whether you choose a male or female, their skin color, their face and stuff. And when you're in your game progression, you can also customize your character by upgrading and choosing different kinds of armor and your weapon that you can find all over the map, which will affect the appearance of your character. The fighting gameplay is pretty unique and looks fun with all the weapons that you can choose, from a hammer and an axe that will have different effects on different kind of enemies. You can also attack enemy while airborne later on when you find a wing of Daedalus. This thing is allowing you to glide all over the map to travel a lot faster. The enemy that you fight has a lot of variation in power and sizes that also need some different types of technique and weapon in order to defeat it. This game has a really big world for you to explore and some puzzle that you can find all over the map and solve it to get more material that you can use to make your character even more powerful. Inside the game, your character will get more skills and unique ability that will also come in handy when you want to defeat a really strong opponent like a boss. Overall, this game looks good for a cartoony kind of graphic, looks really enjoyable to be played, and for me personally, if you're a big fan of single player open world adventure games, this game is definitely recommended for you. This game will be released on December the 3rd of 2020 for Windows, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox, and it's also ready for the next generation console for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, and also don't forget Stadia. At number 5, we have Riders Republic. Now Riders Republic is made by Ubisoft as a new franchise that they really want to make. Okay, Riders Republic itself is a multiplayer playground extreme sport. This game gives you a lot of different experience from every tracks and weather that you choose through the entire game. This game also gives you different ride that you can choose from. Let's say you want to riding down a mountain with different types of bike. If you want to go downhill, BMX style, whatever you guys want to do, or going down a snowy mountain with a snowboard or ski like a Flash, or even better, flying like a freaking Iron Man through the entire sky with a freaking wing jetpack. Because this is multiplayer game, so you can play it with all of your friends. You can do some crazy stunts with your ride that you choose, race your friends in a competition, play it, have fun. You can also customize your own ride from the appearance and make it even cooler. And also you can increase the performance of your ride to make it suitable with track that you choose to maximize your performance inside of the game. For a multiplayer, this game has a really decent graphic, and looking from the gameplay, this is very recommended from me. This game will be released on February 25, 2021 for Windows, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and it's also ready for the next generation console for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, and of course Stadia. At number 4, we have the kind of nostalgia game for people in the year 2000, which is Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake. This game's trailer is just revealed in the most recent Ubisoft Forward. So this game is made by Ubisoft around 17 years ago, specifically in October 2003, for PlayStation 2, Xbox, GameCube, and Game Boy Advance and Windows. This game is pretty much an adventure fighting single player kind of game where you playing as a prince that have a magical dagger that can unlock a magical sand watch that causes all people on the entire kingdom turn into a sand monster. So Ubisoft decided to remake this game and bring improved graphic and higher resolution with a lot of detail for a cartoony kind of game. But they still keep the iconic fighting style of the game, the parkour like the wall riding and stuff, and improve it just a little bit to make it seem fluent and more continuously. They still adding the special power of the dagger that able to rewind time inside of the game, allowing you to redo the mistake that you make and not dying straight away. The enemy or the opponent that you face have a similarity with the original game, but they definitely add some new one to the remake. Me myself, I haven't played the original game, but when I see it from the trailer, this game seems interesting and I definitely want to play it. So Ubisoft also give the original skin and weapons for Prince Persia and the same exact textures for the original game if you pre-order it right now. And if you pre-order it right now, it's going to completely free. Me personally, I really like single player adventure game in general, whether it's a combat game or a shooting game. I don't mind about that kind of game. So this game is 100% recommended for you guys. This game will be released on January 21, 2020 on PC, Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Now the platform right now is only the one that Ubisoft mentioned in their website, but we don't know. Probably it's going to be released for next generation console, but we'll see later. At number 3 we have Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Ubisoft has announced this game for a long time by now, but well, I still want to put this game on my list. Well, because we all know Assassin's Creed, who could say no to Assassin's Creed? Now, this game is directed by a guy named Ashraf Ismail with his team, where you play as a Viking named Igor. Now have to migrate to different place to like England, but the king and some people think that Viking is only crazy barbarian that killing people blindly, so they really prevent Viking to move to their places. But in this game they will show us different perspective of Vikings, that they care about each other and not just killing innocent people blindly. Now I don't really want to explain too much about the game because it might ruin the experience for you guys, so don't need to tag me. Ubisoft made this game with same format as the previous game that they made, which is Origins and Odyssey, that has different route with the usual Assassin games, whether from the fighting gameplay and the map mapping. Now, the original or the Assassin's Creed old school style is they usually place in a crowded city with a building next to each other like an actual assassin, and to be honest, that's actually the reason why I like Assassin's Creed in the first place. But I guess if they can make it interesting, even though different format, I don't really mind. But the fighting gameplay, however, is definitely improved. They also add a lot of new weapon like dual-wielded axe that also you can throw at enemies to stun them or kill them right away. There are also other weapon like spear, sword that you can pick up or you can equip. And of course ranged weapon like bow and arrow to keep your distance from your enemy. The enemy use level like two previous Assassin's Creed game. The enemy use level now to show us about how strong they are, that we can see next to their health bar. The boss fighting looks similar to Odyssey, which is fun as hell. This is actually the good part about the previous Assassin's Creed game, that they really improved the fighting mechanism on the game and not making repetitive and boring over time. Even though the stealth is not going to be put like a really important step, but it's still going to be an option in Assassin's Creed Valhalla like a normal Assassin's Creed games, with the Hidden Blade coming back to the game. I might have to call it upside down Hidden Blade, because instead of you putting it under your wrist, you put it on top of your wrist. This might trigger some Assassin's Creed fan, but to be honest, I don't really mind that. Actually, it make the Hidden Blade a lot cooler and make the original style of Vikings. Your character can also blend in with the rest of the citizen to prevent unnecessary contention with the guards, so you can just walk through them. When we talk about Vikings, we of course can't forget about how they travel from place to place. Yep, they are iconic boat. In Valhalla, they also provide this boat for you to travel from place to place. And when you're with your fellow Vikings brother, they will sing a song for you during your travel to your location that you choose. So it's not going to be boring. But they still add waypoint for you to synchronize to open points of interest on your map like a normal Assassin's Creed game. The graphic for this game is pretty decent for next generation console. I mean, like, nothing spectacular but nothing bad. This game will be released on November 10, 2020 for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Google Stadia, and Microsoft Windows. At number 2, we have Watch Dogs Legion. As we already know, Watch Dogs is an open world story based hacking game, so I don't need to explain much about it. This Watch Dogs Legion is placed in London, more specifically in future London, where a group of terrorists is attacked London, and now a group called Albion have to prevent another attack. But the leader is called Nigel Cass, literally being a dictator and don't care about the citizen of the London and just start killing everybody that looks suspicious. This game is not technically the same replica as London. I mean, like, you still can see some recognizable place and building like the Big Bang and some museum, but it's not a replica, a perfect replica. The street and the road look alive with all of the NPC around it and feels like an actual London street. This game is sometimes feel nuts with all of the detail in the game that really suitable with the next generation gaming. The thing that makes different with the previous Watch Dogs games is that you're not only gonna play as one person like traditional single player game, but you can also play with all of people around the street that you can find. So basically, if you found a potential member of that sect, you can approach them and recruit them. But in order to recruit them, you might have to do some important tasks that they will give you. But if you're able to do that, they will join you and they can be played as a playable character. Now, some of these characters are really useful, like let's say this Albion officer. So if you don't do anything like do stealth and stuff, just want to go walk through them, just recruit her, and then you can just go walk through the base and no one's suspicious, no one feel attacked or something like that, and you can just go in the story. Or let's say you want to go bang bang, you just go just like this construction guy, then literally go nuts everywhere with freaking nail gun. Or if you want to keep your distance, you can use this drone lady, and you can use a different kind of drone and even hack the drone of Albion. And I forgot to mention that every character that you recruit have different ability and different personality. As I said, like the three characters that I have mentioned, that their ability totally different. You can be a freaking assassin, you can be a grandma with a freaking taser. Yes, I don't make that one. And you can be like, let's say you're a artist, wall artist kind of guy, or the one that paint wall and stuff. You can be that guy, and that make this game crazy and very revolutionary. So you will not only stuck with one character and get bored over time. However, the map in this game is a lot smaller than Watch Dogs and Watch Dogs 2, because they focus on more like the character design and detail rather than expanding the game world. So it might feel a little bit cramped over time, but at least they put a lot of detail in it. Just like the plot in the future, that this game has a lot of electric car, because well, it's the future. I'm not sure that the gas is still exists. I guess that's the only thing that I can say about this game. This game is wonderful, and its game is definitely ready for next generation gaming. This game will be released on October 29, 2020 for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Google Stadia, and Windows. At number 1, we have Far Cry 6. Now, not a lot of things has been told about this game, but they should release some clips from the trailer and some screenshot of the game, and some backstory for us to know. So Far Cry 6 takes place in a fictional place, Caribbean island called Iara, which is inspired by Cuba and described as the largest Far Cry playground to date and a tropical paradise frozen in time. It is ruled by a guy named Anton Castillo or El Presidente Castillo, and a fascist dictator with full control over the island. Castillo is guiding his son Diego, who is unsure about his own future, to follow his footsteps. Now, so Anthony himself tried to push his son Diego to be like him and to be quote unquote a proper leader like him. But Diego not really sure and is not really interested in that kind of thing. Now, the player you will play is a guy named Danny Rojas, a guerrilla soldier who is fighting for freedom of his nation and try to make the nation to go back to its former glory. The player Danny, of course, like the previous Far Cry game, you can choose the gender from the start of the game. But well, at least now your character can speak, not like the deputy from Far Cry 5. That's kinda unfortunate. Now, what I see from the screenshot and some clip of the game, now I'm pretty sure the weapon is right now not just gonna be like a normal weapon that you can choose. There's of course some customized thing that you can find in your weapon, and it's kind of modified because probably the resources in that island is not that much because most of the guns is owned by Antonio Castillo, so you can't really have guns, a proper gun, but at least you can make it customizable and make the guns even cooler. And also what I see from the screenshot is I saw an airplane, so just like Far Cry 5 there's also going to be an airplane. And also there's something cute about it. There's a horse. It's kind of cool if you can ride a horse. I'm not really sure if it's there only for a display. I'm not really sure about that. But if you can ride a horse, that's cool, I guess. Even though in previous Far Cry, even in any Far Cry franchise, you never really ride a horse. But it's a good feature that you can use. Now, but the graphic I can't really tell because they haven't shown me the gameplay, so I can't really talk much about this game. But this game will be released for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Google Stadia, and Microsoft Windows. So I guess that's it for today's video. So I just want to give you guys a little glance about 6 upcoming Ubisoft games if you guys want to know about it. So if you guys want to know about other video that I make, I also make a video about PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. So if you guys want to check it, just go check it. So I guess see you guys later and bye.